Hey, my loves, and welcome to another episode of Love Talk with Martise, the Love Coach. Me. I'm so excited that you're here with me again. If this is your first time joining, thank you for being here. This podcast is a safe space for real conversations about love, healing, self worth, relationships, life challenges, and honestly, everything in between. Every week, I'll be answering listener letters, sharing self healing gems, offering encouragement, helping you build a healthier relationship. And of course, we're going to start with the relationship that you have with yourself. So, whether you're healing from a heartbreak, navigating grief, working on your confidence, or simply looking for a little guidance, know that you are welcome here and you are in the right place. So, grab your coffee, your tea, your favorite drink, get comfortable, and let's talk love. All right, love. So today I'm going to talk about something that can get a little messy, a little spicy. I might step on some toes. I might make someone feel a way. That's okay. Remember, this is a no judgment zone. This is a place where we have real conversations and a place where we can speak openly. So, we're going to talk about feelings. We're going to talk about choices. We're going to talk about relationships. And most importantly, we're going to talk about life. Now, before we get into today's letter, I want to be honest about something. Life isn't always black and white. Sometimes we find ourselves in situations that we never expected. Sometimes we fall for people that we shouldn't fall for. Sometimes people stay where they're unhappy. Sometimes people tell half truths because they don't want to face the consequences of the full truth. And that's where things get complicated. One thing I've noticed is that people love assigning blame. No, it's your fault. No, it's your fault. Well, if you didn't do this, then I wouldn't have done that. And that's when things start to get complicated. So when you start placing or assigning blame, especially when relationships are involved, that's when things get so tricky and we lose sight of what's important. If a married man starts talking to another woman, people immediately blame the woman. If a married woman starts talking to another man, people immediately blame the man. But let's be real, right? Nobody can steal somebody who doesn't want to be stolen. Now, let me be clear. That does not mean I believe that it's healthy to knowingly get involved with someone who's married. I do not agree with that at all. It doesn't mean I think it's a wise choice to get involved with someone who is married. But what I'm saying is this: the person who made the commitment has a responsibility. If someone is married and unhappy, that's a conversation they need to have with their spouse. Not a decision they need to make because somebody came along, not because they saw something new that grabbed their attention. And here's what I need everybody who's listening right now to pay attention. Sometimes people tell you exactly what they want you to hear. Let me say that again. People tell you exactly what they want you to hear. Sometimes. So you'll start hearing things like, we haven't been happy in years. We're only together for the kids. We sleep in separate rooms. We're basically already separated. Now, granted, sometimes that is true, but sometimes, y'all, it's just a lie, a story. Because while they're telling you one thing, they may be telling their spouse something completely different. And that's what we call playing both sides. Men just don't do it, women do it too. Let's not act like women are super innocent, but let's not place blame just on the women and not focus on the men too. So it's both, okay? Some people want the comfort of their current relationship while enjoying the excitement of someone new. The thing about that is that eventually somebody's going to get hurt. That's why I always tell people, like, pay attention to actions, not promises. Because what happens is actions, it'll tell you the truth. Promises, they're going to sell you some possibilities. And possibilities don't always become reality. That's the thing. Okay, now let's switch gears for a moment because one of our letters today is about parenting teenagers. And if you've ever raised teenagers, you already know. They'll have you laughing 1 minute, and child, you'll be praying the next. They'll think they're grown. They'll think they know everything. They'll think they're smarter than you somehow. They forget that you were once a teenager. But that's a part of growing up. That's a part of parenting. And the goal isn't to control our children forever. The goal is to prepare them for adulthood. And that means learning how to guide them instead of simply directing them. Because I think people get guiding and directing confused. So I think you should take a step back if you're listening, and this may be something that reflects for you. Take a step back and learn some patience with guiding them rather than directing. Now we're going to get into our love gems. But before we get into our love gems, I want to be clear. Today, I am only doing 2 letters, okay? My first letter, if you haven't caught on, is going to be about a lady who is dealing with a married man. And then my second letter is someone asking for parenting advice or wanting some parenting advice or some knowledge or my take on it. So I want to be clear on why I'm only doing 2 letters this week. I have been getting a lot of letters that's meant to be routed to a psychic. I love y'all so much, but I am not a psychic. I cannot tell your future. I do not read tarot cards. I don't do any of that. I am a certified relationship coach, a certified love coach, a certified life coach, as well as a master sexpert. Research. I constantly tell you guys what I'm here for. I am here to help. I am here to help you create a more meaningful future. That is my goal. That is my purpose. But I am not a psychic, although I do appreciate the outpour of letters. Like, I've been getting so many letters. It's amazing. I love it. But no, I cannot read some of them. However, you are welcome to continue to listen to my podcast. I love that you even listened once or shared something on social media. I love that. So please continue listening. Continue being in our space. You are welcome to write to me any single time. Anytime you want. All right, let's get into our love gems, guys. So, love gem number 1 is I want you to pay attention to actions, not promises. Anyone can tell you what you want to hear, but remember that character is revealed through consistency. Love gem number 2 is a healthy ending creates space for a healthy beginning. What that means is you should not rush into something new before you properly close what came before it. I also want you to know that you can guide people without controlling them. So that applies to parenting, that applies to relationships, that can also apply to your workspace. Remember that boundaries are not punishments, boundaries are protection. Finally, I want you to remember that communication solves problems that assumptions create. So remember, never assume when you can just simply communicate. All right, my loves, let's get into the letters for today. Again, I'm only doing 2 letters today. Please continue to send in your letters. And I will get to most of them on Wednesdays. All right, so our first letter says, I am a single mother of 2. I recently met a man I work with, and he is currently married. His wife and him are not happy. He wants to leave her for real. I know he really loves me, but I do not want him to leave his wife just for me. I want him to do it because he's truly unhappy. My question to you is, Why is it that women who fall for someone who is currently seeing someone are always the ones to get blamed? His friends are blaming me for making him want to leave her. I think his wife is cheating on him anyway. I will be listening for your advice. Well, sis, first, thank you for your honesty. I appreciate it. Thank you for writing in. We love that. But let me start by saying this. You are absolutely right. Society places blame on the other woman more than they places blame on the person that made the commitment. This happens oh so much. But I want to be careful, right? I don't want you to remove accountability from everyone involved, including yourself. Here's what concerns me. You said that you don't want him to leave his wife because of you. But are you really being honest about that? If you are, then that's the healthiest thing you said in this entire letter. Because if he's truly unhappy in his marriage, then he should leave because he's unhappy. Not because he found you, not because there's a temporary moment of happiness with you. So a healthy relationship deserves like a clean beginning. And a healthy relationship usually requires healthy endings. Now, I also want you to pay attention to something. You said that you think his wife is cheating. You said he's unhappy. And you said he loves you. Those are all the things you're hearing. But what are you seeing? Sometimes people tell us things that it makes it easier for us to stay like emotionally invested. So if he's telling you she's cheating or he's unhappy and that they're basically over, but yet he's still married, you need to slow down and pay attention. Sometimes people are telling different stories to different people, and that goes for men and women. What I want you to do is I want you to protect your heart. If he decides to leave his marriage, let that be his decision. And let him fully close that chapter before opening another one. Matter of fact, let him close that whole entire book before starting another one. You deserve a relationship that doesn't begin with confusion, and that is exactly what this is, confusion. You deserve clarity, you deserve honesty, and you actually deserve someone who is emotionally 100% available for just you. Okay? This letter reminds me of something, of a lot actually. And I'm just going to talk about parenting because as a parent, being a parent, it teaches you so much. You said you're a single mother of two. So as parents, we do know that our kids don't always tell us everything. All right, transparent moment. I have a 17-year-old daughter who put me through hell and back. Oh my God, man, this girl been through some things. She just recently graduated high school. Super, super proud of her for that. So, yes. Okay, my baby graduated. But it's been a whirlwind of things. I also have a 13-year-old daughter who is starting to become more interested in boys. I have a 12-year-old daughter, and I also have a 12-year-old son. And one thing parenting has taught me is that communication matters. So that has helped me with relationships. That has helped me with while I'm at work. And that has helped me navigate a great space for me and my children. Sometimes our kids tell us one version. Sometimes they tell their friends another version. And sometimes the truth is somewhere in the middle. Life is just like that. Relationships are just like that. And that's why we have to pay attention to behavior and not just words. All right, so that brings us to our very next letter. So our next letter also comes from someone that's wanting to remain anonymous. I heard you said that you're giving parenting advice. You help relationships get better. Well, help me, girl. My teenager is a little out of hand. She is starting to like boys a lot more. Also, her brother, who is only 16, is feeling himself a little too much. He's not disrespectful, he just doesn't want to listen much to his dad and I. I do want to remain anonymous because I'm just writing for advice. We do have appointments for family therapy in a couple weeks, but I would like to hear your take on navigating life in teenagers. First, let me say congratulations. And yes, I said congratulations because one thing you're doing right now that so many parents never do or never even think to do is you schedule family therapy. That is major. That is huge. Now let's talk about these teenagers, boo. Teenagers are supposed to start wanting independence. That's something they're supposed to do. That part of wanting independence is actually healthy. The challenge isn't that they want freedom. The challenge is that they want freedom without the consequences. And that's where we as parents come in. So your daughter liking boys doesn't mean she's out of control. It just means she's growing up. Your son pushing boundaries doesn't mean he's disrespectful. It means he's testing that independence. Now, don't get me wrong. Boundaries matter. Rules matter, and so do those consequences. Because life is going to teach them that. So we have to start in our homes. But most importantly, connection matters so much when dealing with a teenager. One thing I always tell parents is you want your children to talk to you before they talk to strangers. You want them to feel safe coming to you even when they make mistakes. Because trust is built before the crisis happens, not during it. So what I want you to do is continue having those conversations. Make sure you're listening. Make sure you are guiding. Continue loving them through this season because that's exactly what this is. This is just a season. And before you know it, you'll blink and they'll be young adults. Listen, your daughter liking boys doesn't mean she's out of control. It means she's growing up. The question is whether she feels like safe enough to talk to you about it. Do you have that open door where you make her feel comfortable to talk to you? And your son isn't hard-headed. He's 16. Sometimes 16-year-old thinks that everyone else knows better than their parents. So I encourage you to have that open communication. Do family dinners and also one-on-one time with each child between both parents is so needed. I wouldn't be Martise the Love Coach if I didn't recommend my teen journals. My teen journals are guided teen journals. I promise you these journals helped. I have heard great feedback from my journals. So you can purchase that on martisethelovecoach.com. As a matter of fact, if you feel comfortable coming forward, I would love to send you one for free for your daughter. So you can email me at ceo@martisethelovecoach.com. Just let me know that it is pertaining to the letter that was sent in. I do have your background information, but if you would like a free version, you are welcome to send me an email and I'll know it's you. All right, so thank you to those two ladies who wrote in today. I appreciate it. Thank you for listening to my podcast. Let's get into some affirmations. I want you to first inhale and exhale. And let's just relax our bodies. Okay, repeat after me. I trust myself to make wise decisions. I deserve relationships built on honesty. I release confusion and choose clarity. I can love people without losing myself. I am learning, growing, and becoming wiser every single day. I can guide my children with love and patience. I deserve peace, respect, and consistency. I am worth honest love. And finally, I trust God's timing for my life. All right. Thank you guys for spending this time with me today. If today's episode touched your heart, helped you in some way, or reminded you that you're not alone, be sure to follow the podcast and share it with someone who may need it. And don't forget, if you have a letter, question, situation that you'd like for me to discuss, please send your letters to me, okay? You can submit it it's a link on my website, martisalovecoach.com, and it's also in all of the bios on every single social media platform. My Instagram is Love with Martise. My TikTok and Facebook is Martise the Love Coach. And you can also visit martisalovecoach.com. New episodes of Letters to the Love Coach air every single Wednesday, and Love Lessons with Martise airs every Friday. Until next time, keep healing, keep growing, keep loving yourself, and remember, you deserve the love you're looking for. I love you guys so much. I'm Martise the Love Coach. Talk to you soon.